WWE Survivor Series. Men will enter the ring.
And women too, for only 5 minutes, but this is 2005, where the women's division was on its way to being at its worst.
A championship will be defended.
Technically 2 championships will be defended, but go on. Honestly, WWE shouldn't have hyped up The Undertaker returning at Survivor Series after vanishing from the burning casket at the hands of Randy Orton. Would really be an awesome moment for him to simply return at the end of the night without WWE literally saying, this is happening. Why does Raw get 3 commentators whereas SmackDown gets 2 commentators? Even before Raw constantly clean swept SmackDown in later brand supremacy matches at Survivor Series, WWE still showed too much favor for them.
It's time to return your flight attendants to their upright position.
Don't you mean flight tables? Because the flight attendants don't get placed in their upright position. Oh wait, this is perverted Jerry Lawler we're talking about here.
Right, baby.
Jerry Lawler was too busy talking about flight attendants that the Raw commentators forgot to introduce the Spanish announce team, which led to this awkward transition.
Undisputed United States Champion!
I really don't get how the winner of the best of 7 series between Chris Benoit and Booker T becomes the undisputed United States Champion, considering there's only ever been 1 title and it's simply vacant. It's not like both men are co-champions at the same time or anything. Holy shit, so this must be why the Joe Louis Arena was destroyed. Well, look on the bright side, no pun intended, we got Little Caesars taking over Detroit in later years. Previously on WWE. Also, this entire best of 7 series is proven to be utterly useless with this replay exposing the flawed logic. Booker T's right shoulder was off the canvas well before the 3 count was made, thus he should have retained the United States Championship against Chris Benoit. Talk about screwing Booker. Chris Benoit tosses Booker T out of the ring, then proceeds to climb the corner just to trash talk Sharmell. I would have not sinned it if he was actually going to leap onto Booker, but he climbs down as soon as he's done talking to Sharmell, so it stands.
Again, first in the best of 7 series.
Is that all you can talk about in this match? You've reminded us that this is the first match in the best of 7 series like 5 times already, and we're only 2 minutes in.
Question his credentials.
Maybe the reason Michael Cole has to continue talking about what type of match we're in is because Booker T constantly spends a lot of time outside the ring while Chris Benoit stands around waiting for him to get back.
You just use the word y'all. You just say y'all.
What's wrong with y'all saying y'all? Y'all got a problem with someone saying y'all when y'all say y'all in almost every conversation y'all have with others? Y'all?
The pain that Benoit's in, but
Based on Chris twerking and the position Booker is in, let's hope that Sharmell doesn't end up filing for divorce.
knocking Benoit's block off.
Benoit? Since when did Chris legally change the first letter of his name from a B to a P? Please don't tell me that also happened in Appleton, where every WWE secret seems to take place.
Booker T's putting it all over Benoit.
That was the weirdest and clumsiest way I've ever seen someone try the jackknife cover. I'm guessing Booker T got tired and slowly flipped forward like he was going to bed at night. Victory with the usage of the ropes for leverage is always a sin, and since Sharmell assisted, that also qualifies as victory due to outside interference, so we got a double sin to add. About 2 minutes of mourning Chris Benoit's loss, and for the record, I'm not talking about Eddie Guerrero, so please don't. While it sucks that Sharmell got involved with the win, on the bright side, there's still a long way to go in the best of 7 series. Now, if this was the deciding match, then the mourning is understandable.
Let me show you the greatest entrance in...
I mean, it's not like Joey Styles never saw Melina's entrance before, so what are you talking about, Taz?
Champions, check this out! Go!
Considering every member of M&M were watching Trish Stratus well before she ever jumped off the top rope, how did they not simply catch her and toss her aside?
Go, Melina can fight!
I mean, what's honestly stopping Melina from simply throwing Trish Stratus's legs off her with a simple push? It's cool when certain moves are executed, but when they have flaws this questionable, it really loses its impact.
On paper and with paper!
Holy shit, can Taz please just shut up and call the match? The one thing I never liked about brand supremacy is when the commentators ignore their unbiased responsibilities and resort to irritating arguments and cheerleading.
On paper, coach, come on!
Joey Mercury taunting Trish Stratus with an invisible camera. I don't see how that's supposed to be an insult given Trish has been in more photo shoots than all of Melina's entrances combined.
Come on, Melina! Uh-oh.
Boy, that was random. Mickie James didn't even do anything, yet Melina chooses to go after her despite being in control of Trish Stratus. After that takes place, you just know Trish is going to retain her title.
Too far here. Eminem will do this!
If the beatdown of Mickie James was intended to distract the referee, then Eminem really sucks at trying to take advantage, since they picked up Trish Stratus as slow as they possibly could. Melina still hangs out with these idiots after this?
That's the back. Oh, what the hell?
Trish ends up getting beat down literally every time she does this. Impressive as the bridging is, if you get beat down literally every time you do this, why do it at all?
What the hell?
Again, I ask, what is stopping Melina from simply pushing Trish's legs forward? Even a slight little nudge would save her from this.
Ric Flair did it, taboo.
I gotta take a sin off for this amazing promo build heading into the last man standing match between Ric Flair and Triple H. After everything they went through in Evolution, to see these brutal matches is insane, especially at Rick's age. And also, you can tell this is personal when Ric Flair is the Intercontinental Champion and doesn't even defend his title against Hunter, who isn't here for gold, but for blood. Holy shit, that actually sounded badass on my part. To me, it doesn't really count as a pre-match assault if the referee actually rings the bell when the fight takes place outside the ring. To be honest, it's actually more exciting when a last man standing match actually begins outside the ring because it shows that the carnage can not only take place anywhere, but can start anywhere as well.
Let him get that robe off.
Triple H and his disrespect to the prestigious Intercontinental Championship. Sure, it may not be on the level as a World Heavyweight Championship, but still. Where did that come from? Oh, I don't know. Maybe where every single weapon comes from? Under the damn ring? First, Jerry Lawler asks where Ric Flair got the kendo stick, and now he doesn't even know what a kendo stick is? Seriously?
Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Where he can use anything. It's right there.
Ric Flair ends up bleeding after this moment, and considering we literally saw his hand block his face from hitting the ring post, the sin goes to bleeding. Who the hell brought broomsticks to place under the ring? Think someone's gonna look under the ring and say, this is the perfect weapon to use. Plus, this place is dirty, so let's stop the match and clean for a while. I know a cleaner named Kenny. Let me get him on the phone. Hunter using a screwdriver to annihilate the already bleeding head of Ric Flair was brutal to watch. Gotta love when the hardcore style kicks into these matches.
I know there's no rules, but surely you gotta stop that man with a screwdriver.
Jerry Lawler convinces Vince McMahon that despite the anything goes rule, matches can still be stopped in unusual ways, especially inside giant cages 14 years later.
16 World Championship.
Probably shouldn't have switched over to this camera angle, which completely exposed that Hunter's knee missed Rick's head completely.
Get up, you old bastard! Stay down!
Wait a minute, first you told Ric Flair to get up and now you're telling him to stay down? Can Hunter not make up his mind on what he wants Rick to do? The addition of Hunter yelling in pain into the microphone when Rick crushes his Hurst Helmsleys, it was perfect comedy. You'll love to see it.
Finish the Nature Boy. Finish it.
Jonathan Coachman and his annoying cheerleading makes it difficult to watch without pressing the mute button.
Ric Flair.
Perhaps the reason this last man standing match goes on for like 30 minutes is because the referee takes about 10 seconds in between each count. That's when we're just padding the runtime.
Finish it. Look out.
Really? After the horrific carnage these two have been putting on each other for months, all of a sudden Hunter has a change of mind to use the chair? At this rate, I ain't buying it. A steel chair shot to the face doesn't bloody up Triple H, meanwhile Ric Flair being thrown hand first into the ring post does bloody him up. WWE logic. Fighting. Legal, but still a sin.
The legs is what's in between.
Damn, with all the abuse Hunter suffers down below in one match, Ric Flair unintentionally inspired a rising Japanese star to do the same thing in later years.
Why is the referee not counting?
I'm giving Jerry Lawler a double sin for questioning why the referee wasn't counting when he literally did seconds before he asked. Is he blind or something? A figure 4 leg lock is brutal on its own. I've been in the hold myself, but I can only imagine the added pain when Rick pulls himself up using the ropes as leverage. Another sin taken off. Hey guys, I think I just found the inspiration for Charlotte Flair introducing the figure 8 leg lock nearly 10 years later. That really shows how cruel the figure 8 truly is when you think about it. Kudos. Woo! My hands! Wait, what? Holy shit, that was creative and brutal at the same time. Ric Flair trips Hunter, which causes the latter to fall with the stairs, smacking his face in the process. This match is freaking amazing. I gotta remove 2 sins for that. The last 3 minutes of this match really showed how much Ric Flair still had it within him to absorb a lot of punishment, yet was still able to get back to his feet. He eventually falls victim, but it's still worth praising.
Batista's hurt. He is the weak link.
I don't even need to see Dave Batista to know that he's going to appear right behind Randy Orton at the precise moment the latter is taunting him in his injury.
Third generation, right there.
JBL playing the role of an annoying ass kisser to Randy Orton is really not doing wonders for his character, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Randy was.
Surprised JBL didn't immediately get an RKO out of nowhere after he instantly threw Randy Orton under the bus. Always good to see Edge and Lita, however, impromptu segments on pay-per-view are always a sin, because to me, it shows the pay-per-view had a lack of good timing and needed to add some filler.
The Cutting Edge.
Edge declares that his new talk show, The Cutting Edge, will debut at some point in the future. Happy for you, but why not debut it now or something? You're already out here, and you said it doesn't require a fancy setup, so why not seize the opportunity? That one moment when you realize WWE hasn't even changed the bloody ring canvas yet.
Dimitri Young.
This entire segment exists just so Edge can trash talk Dimitri Young of the Detroit Tigers. WWE seriously ran out of good ideas?
I hit balls. You have no balls.
You don't got any genitalia of your own gender cliche.
Where is your world championship?
I would totally love to see Dimitri Young in the present day after he sees that Edge won more world championships than he ever could. I am the greatest professional wrestler of all time cliche. I'm just saying, I hear it from almost everyone. It's a good thing to think about, but literally everybody says it. The entire existence of having Daivari as the special guest referee for this WWE Championship match, because we all know John Cena is still going to win despite all these odds stacked against him.
I cannot stand to hear that creepy music.
That's racist. Here's something I gotta throw in 5 cents for, the censoring of the crowd chanting "you suck," not just because it's annoying to hear the bleeps over and over, but also because this logic makes no sense. Kurt Angle can still hear the live audience chanting "you suck" to the beat of his music, not to mention the crowd can still hear themselves chanting it. So how is the censoring of the broadcast supposed to help Kurt Angle here?
8 of them have resulted in the challenger dethroning.
The odds of winning a championship are in Kurt Angle's favor just because 8 of the last 11 challengers won the WWE title at Survivor Series. It's a cool stat, but that doesn't help Kurt's odds of winning it himself. He could challenge for the title at Armageddon, Royal Rumble, or WrestleMania and have the same amount of odds that he normally would here. It's based on your skill, not the history. Premature celebration. WWE still hasn't removed the bloody canvas and replaced it with a fresh one. That's not exactly healthy, you know.
Daivari is keeping the champion from going outside.
While yes, Daivari is an asshole who's officiating this match in favor of Kurt Angle, it's actually a legitimate rule that wrestlers are supposed to stay in the ring, so a referee trying to stop a competitor from leaving the ring isn't as unfair as Joey Styles is claiming it is.
That's the top of his club. Look at him now.
Well, that was the most awkward hip toss I've ever seen. Look, I'm not an advocate for biased officiating, but at least when other guest referees don't count the pin, they tend to do something funny to distract themselves. Daivari simply standing around doing nothing just bores me. Once again, I'm not trying to advocate here, but considering Daivari is being biased in favor of Kurt Angle, wouldn't he logically just go for the Montreal Screwjob tactic and ring the bell right now? We are at Survivor Series after all, plus Eric Bischoff wants John Cena to not be the WWE Champion too. The referee gets knocked over at the crucial point of the match cliche. But also, this takes out Daivari for the remainder of the match despite him being prominent in the build-up heading into tonight, as well as him getting his own entrance. Lesson learned for the future. If there's going to be a biased referee, just knock him out so an unbiased referee can replace him. That was easy. Wow, I gotta say Kurt Angle was pretty innovative in this match. No shocker because he's freaking Kurt Angle. But this Anderson submission was amazing to watch, not to mention effective. My thoughts exactly, Jerry. I think after all this cheerleading, Jonathan Coachman is merely losing his mind. Serious question. Kurt Angle blatantly clotheslined the referee, so when the third referee of the match arrives, why doesn't he call for the disqualification? Especially when he was clearly watching the broadcast and saw it happen. That's been done before. Kurt Angle is addicted to John Cena's. Really sad when you realize that a majority of this match is Kurt Angle beating up referees instead of a great clash between him and his great rival John Cena.
Hey, thanks for inviting us to your pay-per-view.
Oh great, more commentary banter. Where is that mute button? Where is that mute button? Shit, I'm screwed! While this is obviously done for weird-ass entertainment, to have Teddy Long and Eric Bischoff compete in a match against each other, how does 2 referees officiating a match work? Does Jack Doan only count when Eric is going for the pin, while Jimmy Corderas counts when Teddy is going for the pin? And are the referees gonna fight each other too? I got so many questions. Even though Eric Bischoff is not much of a threat, I still would not turn my back on him. He is the heel general manager after all and will do anything to cheat to win. Also, Teddy Long goes for the crowd reaction pose, meanwhile Eric Bischoff does not. I'm honestly on the side of Eric because he clearly wants to fight, while Teddy wants to pose and possibly dance.
He has got the moves, all juking and jiving.
Not exactly impressive when you're in a wrestling match, Michael Cole. You'll find out at some point in your career. I'm from the future. Don't worry, you win more than you lose.
There's always been a man who has done.
By chanting boring, the crowd would be great at CinemaSins 2 expansion. The concept of general managers fighting it out for brand supremacy sounds good, but only if the 2 GMs are actual wrestlers, or at least former wrestlers.
Well, I've been sitting by Joey Styles.
Even if Eric Bischoff didn't duck, it wouldn't have mattered considering Teddy Long swung too high and would have missed Eric anyway.
Referee's got to check that out.
This is a sequence that leaves me confused. Why does Jimmy Corderas stop attending to the submission hold on Teddy just to go to Palmer Cannon? Couldn't he see Jack Doan being distracted and figure, nah, he's got this, I'll tend to the match?
What the hell is this?
Seriously? Even if the Boogeyman hasn't been around for that long, why are you questioning whose music this belongs to when it clearly had lines stating, I'm the Boogeyman? Who is that? Get out of here with that. Also, the Boogeyman is here just so Teddy Long can get some cheap win as he's the most non-wrestler out of these 2 general managers. That and SmackDown needs the point to tie up the brand supremacy score. Thank you, next please.
Cheering the guys on!
In other words, they are cheering on Team SmackDown because it's the only chance they can get some airtime at Survivor Series. I'm sorry, but this promo package is difficult to watch because it's like someone added in an earthquake effect and set it to a 7.5 magnitude. Can barely figure any of this out. Batista has an injury that leaves him bandaged up, and the first thing he does when he enters is smack the bandages and potentially worsen the injury. It's almost like he's asking to be more heavily injured than he already is. Also, over 10 minutes of entrances. I think it would be better if the two teams arrived to the music of their show's theme song. Would definitely save time. Wow, totally have never seen that sign at wrestling events JBL competed at. Very amazing and original creativity. His official ring name is Bobby Lashley, and you even hear Tony Chimlo announce him as Bobby Lashley, yet his name graphics only say Lashley. If that's supposed to make Bobby seem more intimidating by not showing his first name, I don't think it's working.
Hey, coach, you know what? Kiss my ass.
Tell you what, just so I can send the actual good moments in the Survivor Series match and not have to bring this up again, let's throw in 10 cents for all the non-stop arguing and cheerleading from the commentators. As I've said already, it's the worst part of brand supremacy matches.
Randy Orton.
With how many slaps have been hit in the early goings of this match, I'm actually questioning if Randy Orton and Shawn Michaels thought it'd be funny to start off the match diva style. Randy Orton used almost his full body weight on his right knee when he went down, yet it's his left knee that's in so much pain when he stands up. I can understand if both knees got hurt in that exchange, but how is the right knee a-okay?
Here's the cover, and there's teamwork.
I find it odd that SmackDown, a team that does not get along with each other, actually tries to prevent one of their teammates from getting eliminated, whereas Raw, a team that's been on the same page, could care less when their partners are in trouble of elimination.
Throughout the entire match.
Oh, you guys.
Randy Orton looks to tag in Bobby Lashley, yet missed his hand and caused this awkward exchange. Carlito actually believes that begging for mercy is going to make Bobby Lashley say, "Understandable, have a nice day."
Killed and never saw it.
I gotta add 2 cents for this moment. The first one, because I take back what I said about Team SmackDown helping their teammates when they faced elimination. But also, why didn't Bobby Lashley simply move his leg slightly to the right so that it could cause a rope break? Just a slight movement, and he'd be saved.
Over there, I won't explain to the listening audience.
I'm not gonna lie, I gotta give praise to Mike Chioda on his handling of this situation. Argues with JBL to get him back in his corner, while also turning his head just in case anyone tags in, which Chris Masters did. Great officiating by the legend. The Big Show was a dick to his own tag team champion partner. He was literally standing in the ring just 2 feet away from Batista pinning Kane, yet did nothing to stop Kane from getting eliminated. What an asshole, am I right? Post-elimination assault, and since this actually eliminates Dave, I will also add in the elimination due to outside interference in, as a result of the eliminated Kane being responsible along with the Big Show. So 2 for 1. Man, Team Raw must really hate the Big Show. They see the remaining members of Team SmackDown hit all their finishing moves on him and do absolutely nothing about it. All they do is bounce and complain on the ring apron. Still the one thing I hate about Survivor Series matches. That was an amazing clothesline from hell. The teamwork was improvised and unintentional, but the impact was just as awesome. Shawn Michaels gets hit by the 619 and thought he was facing Hulk Hogan at SummerSlam from a few months ago, so he starts flailing everywhere.
Here we go.
5 freaking sins removed. Shawn Michaels always seems to have perfect timing with the sweet chin music catching his opponents in midair.
Randy Orton.
The crowd starts chanting for The Undertaker because, once again, WWE blatantly told everyone that he's showing up, when the return should have been a surprise, especially considering he disappeared from the burning casket at No Mercy, leaving his whereabouts and the return a scary mystery. Either the SmackDown roster is somehow oblivious to The Undertaker's bells, or the dead man himself paid them to keep Randy Orton in the air long enough for him to return and exact his revenge. In the midst of his fear, Randy Orton briefly gave himself a squishy face, or tried out for another remake of Home Alone. I mean, what word can you use to describe this moment of The Undertaker walking out of a burning casket? I can't think of one, so I'll take off 10 sins and call it a night.